everyone, it's Bryan here with the Bigger, Better Biz community, where I equip you with the tools and know-how to grow that bigger, better small business. I'm joined by the Three Stooges. No, I'm joined by three of my friends who are actually doing an amazing undertaking. Maybe sometimes you've seen that a business has changed ownership, changed management, or changed names. These guys are doing just that with an amazingly huge entertainment center that used to be called The Gutter is now going to be called Buzz Social. Gentlemen, hello, how are you? Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Marcus Wise. My background is in the arts. I used to own a couple of art galleries, and I also have a background in restaurant and bar management. So my role here is to make sure that we have a space that looks really cool and has a fun vibe.
Very cool.
Passionate bowler. Bowling's been my entire life. My husband and I own a traditional bowling center, and now we're looking to expand on that success into the family entertainment center.
And I'm Jay Nephew. I used to work for Cubica AMF, most recently the world's largest manufacturer of bowling equipment. And I decided it was time to come to do our own little thing with these guys.
I love it. So guys, you have a pretty big undertaking. Obviously, Dan, you were saying you have the background in bowling. Jay, competitive bowler, you worked for one of the largest companies in the bowling industry, so you obviously have the know-how. But one of the challenges that we were talking about before we hit record is the fact that you're taking a center that had a different name, different ownership, different reputation, and you're turning it on its head. You're rebranding everything, and you're coming in with a new approach, process, and probably a higher standard of customer experience. Is that right?
For sure, Brian. Actually, the problem with this facility in the most recent past, was it was piecemealed. So the owner of the building didn't run the whole building. He ran the bowling, we'll say, leasing out the bar and restaurant, and this event room that we're in was also a separate entity. So when that happens, although it could be great for you if you don't have the skill set to do this or that, you lose the central focus of customer service and customer experience, because two of the three things are out of your control at any given time. We're going to take control of all that again and bring back a one-stop shop for fun, entertainment, banquets, whatever.
I love it. So you've already got the vision. And just like you said, I know that with a lot of bowling centers and entertainment centers, they might have the pro shop that's leased out. So this owner was like, listen, I don't have those core functionalities. I'm going to have this person do this, and
Right.
this. But then, like you said, it's stagnant, it's stagnated, and you can't control the customer experience. I love that you're owning all of it. One big point that you brought up. Yeah. Okay. So when you're in that, I run a team, right? We have the agency. So you got to micromanage to a point because you have those expectations. You want to provide that level of experience for customers walking in. But I've actually been reading a book. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Jim Quick. He's kind of like a mind coach, and he wrote this book called Limitless. One of the things he talks about is the best way to learn is to teach. So micromanagement or teaching your staff, whatever it is, now you're figuring out all of the little snags, the glitches, all those things that could be a potential problem, nipping them in the bud and making sure that your staff can see those too. I love it. That's what every business owner should be doing. So wonderful. Now let's get to the business itself and how we're showing up digitally. I know that you have created a logo, you have the landing page or the placeholder website. Before I even show folks that, what other marketing are you doing to kind of get ready for this launch that you're going to have next month?
Well, we also have a Facebook page, which for the demographic of our area is probably going to be the biggest way to reach them. But we're also doing some outside marketing where we'll be handing out cards that have an invitation to our grand opening. We'll be handing out free bowling games to people. And we're new to this neighborhood, so it's a great way to meet everybody at the same time, introduce ourselves to people. And I think it's such a small, tight-knit community that word of mouth is really the way to go in this instance. So having those handouts and then going to all the local businesses and making sure that we reach out to the local high school and other institutions that are in the area is going to be the biggest thing for us. So social media is something that will grow for us, but since we're starting from the ground floor in this area, a lot of it's just going to be very hands-on in the community marketing for us right now.
And so for the beginning, it's a lot of grassroots. It's a lot of old school in that aspect, but we are getting some bumps from news coverage. We can talk about that in another session. It's not all positive on the news but we're spinning our coverage to be positive.
Gotcha. Well, I think, you brought up a really good point where you're keeping it local, and Marcus was talking about how you're pounding the pavement. And one thing you brought up was that you're handing out these cards to invite them. I'm going to give you one tip right away. So whenever you're going to hand out something, if you're ever going to print something, we want them to have an easy way to get to us digitally, right? So let's say that you're handing out the card. Well, over the pandemic, QR codes became something that people actually know and use. Before that, what the heck is a QR code? I'm sure you're going to be using them throughout the center anyways. But one thing, if you haven't done it already, and for those watching at home, on that card, invite them, have a QR code where it says, scan this with your phone camera, and then have it so that they join your mailing list. They're entered into a package for something cool when they come. So it could be free games, whatever it is. But your goal, if you're going to be pounding the pavement, it's not only just to be walking around in the shirts, letting people know that Buzz Social exists and is replacing the gutter. It's also, how can we get them onto our list? Because Facebook's great, but you're renting those fans and followers. Email, we own them. We can hit them. If we have a league opening, we hit them. If we have events or we need to fill events for 2022, we can send out an email. I want to see any center that's doing this to be growing their email list, because then you own those contacts.
Makes complete sense.
Right, thank you.
Yep. And the other thing too, one more. So you could just do that where they fill out a form, right? Simple form, goes to Constant Contact or whatever you're using. Another thing is there are tools, and I'm happy to send them to you offline, but there are different free drawing tools. So what I mean by that is you can enter a contest and you get points for doing different things. So if they scan the QR code, now they could get points for posting on Facebook, for tweeting, for signing up to the mailing list, for sharing it somewhere, whatever we want to do. You can have them earn points. That way they have points entered into like a bucket and then randomly drawn, but you're getting them to now give you their email and share on social, which is kind of hitting those two things that you want to do.
That's genius. That works really in conjunction with guerrilla marketing, like on the boots on the ground. That's like kaboom, double whammy.
Yep. So I'll show you those tools after. There's some good ones. I'll send you the links.
Great.
So now let me share the screen. What I want to do, this blueprint strategy session is a little bit different because Jay, I know you so well, and I want to make sure that we're really covering some fundamentals. So I want to look at what you were, where we are now, and then we can talk about where we want to be with the brand when it comes to the digital presence. And I'm going to share this screen. And you gentlemen should be seeing the gutter Green Bay, right? So here's the thing. When we're talking about Google, obviously #1 search engine in the world, Google has another search engine inside of it. It's the local search engine. That's where the business profile on Google, formerly known as Google My Business, comes in. That's where someone that's in the Green Bay area, who's either visiting, going to school, whatever, is searching for a fun activity or an event or something like that. And you might pop up. So going back to Dan's whole 5-mile radius, keeping it local, that's where we want to use Google Local. Here's the thing. The previous owners of the gutter still have the profile up, right? Now, when Google's looking, it looks at the name of the business, it looks at the address, and it looks at the phone number. So it's called NAP information, name, address, phone number. Those are the three critical areas of your local profile, or basically your local business profile around the web. In this case, we're just looking at Google. So right here, there's your address, right? Because you haven't moved the center. So we're still in the same place. Well, Google right now is thinking, it's being told by this former profile that this place is called the gutter, temporarily closed, located at that address with that phone number. The address is going to be the big player here because Google makes sure that every business verifies their address. And that way it keeps out all the fake scam businesses. So right now, Google's going to be confused because it thinks the gutter's still there. It's just temporarily closed because of COVID. We want to make sure, one thing that I would say, can you go to the old owners, or can you get access to this profile? And if you want to, you could either delete it or you could rename it into the Buzz Social. So do you have access to those owners?
We do.
And Brian, I've created a new Google My Business profile, but I didn't have our phone number, which we just got yesterday or the day before. So I haven't updated the phone number with that. So there is another listing with our name and the same address that should be populated somewhere, but maybe it's not up yet because I didn't include the phone number.
It's
And as you
not
can
up
see, Bark
here.
and Brew has an address of Suite 100 on theirs. Other people have an address, but if not online, it says Suite 100, 2310
Yep.
Suite 100.
Oh,
So there's a little bit of a confusion with the way the plaza like determined or laid out or numbered.
There's a couple things going into it, right? One, you still have that other business that's only marked as temporarily closed, has longevity because it has 194 reviews, 4 stars. And so it already has, it's that OG status. It's already been there.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Google's going to give credence to that one. So my recommendation is this. I understand new ownership, everything else. That being said, you have 194 reviews. Now, I'm sure some of them are not great, but that's where you can make sure you're telling people new management, new ownership. You may, because you've been given this golden goose of a 4-star review, 194 showing that you've been there, you may want to just change the name of the gutter to Buzz Social and then update the phone number. That way you don't have to go through any of the rigmarole of verifying. If you don't want to do that because you want all of those reviews to go away because it doesn't represent what you are offering, totally fine. You've got to get in here, delete this profile, tell them that it's permanently closed, and then you'll be able to establish your profile at that address. We'll look at it like in the eyes of Google. We've got the umbrella, the main business, the gutter, and then inside you have those different units like the coffee bar that we saw or the restaurant or whatever you're going to do. You can create separate business profiles for those, brand new. And then you can just make sure that you use 2310 Lineville Road, unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3. Google, so what may happen is if you go and add those all at once, Google may say, hey, wait, hold on. They're just trying to add in a whole bunch of businesses. They may make you go through a verification process where you have to take a photo of the sign for that specific store or space in your general center, but you'll be able to verify those by getting a postcard sent. You just have to pop in the code and you're good to go. So you basically compartmentalize with those smaller business model or revenue centers in the center. Does that make sense?
yeah, that's good.
By doing so, the one thing I'm going to tell you, caveat here, is that when you have multiple business profiles, you've got to manage each of those business profiles. So when you bring your GM on or some employee, they've got to be looking not only at the gutter, but the other businesses that you have inside of, or I'm sorry, Buzz Social, but the other businesses that are inside of the center. So you want to make sure they're checking all of those. You might get reviews. You're going to have to put up photos and things like that. There's a whole bunch of best practices to keep you lively so that Google considers you relevant and shows you when people are looking for family fun or bowling or entertainment or things to do in Green Bay. Okay. So Jay, when you walked away, the one thing we were saying is it may be more advantageous, despite the fact you created a new profile, to actually just rename the gutter. We can denote. Yep, we can denote that it's under new ownership. Even on the photos, one of the first photos you put on, use Canva and say under new ownership, the gutter is now Buzz Social. And then you pop that up there. Do a video with all 3 of you saying, hey, we want to, this is Marcus J. and we want to welcome you to Buzz Social. Formerly the gutter, we're really proud to bring this to the Green Bay area, blah, done. You can put that on there now. People, there's no confusion. They'll see the video.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. The other thing that we're going to look at is you still have, or the Gutter Green Bay website still exists. Were you given access to this with your hosting? No?
Yes, and I'm sure we can get that.
Okay, make sure you get that. So we're just basically right now we're playing cleanup. What we want to do is you're going to want to get access to that domain and the host and redirect. Exactly. That's it. So you're going to, ideally, you'll have them actually, if you're using GoDaddy or whatever, you can have them move the domain over to your GoDaddy account and then redirect it. Done. And you're going to do a permanent redirect, a 301 redirect.
But there might be some collateral that we can steal from there. There's still fun pictures that would be valid for us. Like the girls with the bowling balls right there. Fun pic.
Yep, definitely.
Or the Packers, yeah, especially the Packers.
So yeah, I would grab those. I mean, I'm sure that all came in the goodwill that you got when buying the business. So do all that, grab that stuff. Now let's jump to your site. So we've got Buzz Social Green Bay. Got your logo, bowling, burgers, and bar. Love it. Tells people exactly what it is. And I love alliteration, as you can tell, bigger, better biz. So perfect. Grand opening celebration, November 19th, 6 to 10. All are invited. So if people are coming to this page, what are we telling them to do?
show up on November 19th.
Okay. But how do we know that they're going to remember that? I'm not going to remember what's happening in 2 hours, let alone what's happening in 3 weeks. Right. So again, this is where I would say use a tool like a Constant Contact or something else. Pop a form in there, a button where people can enter into a drawing to win something that you're going to be presenting to them at the grand opening. Add some fanfare. So if people are coming here and knowing Jay, I'm sure he's going around screaming from the rooftops that we're opening and everybody in Green Bay knows Jay Nephew from Buzz Social, then what we want to do is when they come here, we need to give them something, a micro commitment to make. So that would be joining the mailing list or follow us on Facebook. If that's what you're going to do too, do both, right?
Yeah, do both for sure.
If you can get them on your mailing list, the reason why I harp on is one, because it's like our lifeblood of what we do and we've seen really good results. But two, if you get them in the email, you can send a welcome email. So now you can say, hey, thanks so much for connecting and joining the Buzz Social family. Hey, stay informed. We have special deals, promos, even exclusive events that we showcase on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. Then when this comes, when the grand opening is coming, now what we're going to do is we've got Halloween, then we have, a little lull. So you're going to send a, hey, reminder in 2 weeks or in a week and a half, 10 days, we're going to have the grand opening. Are you coming? Great. Then 3 days before, you're going to send a reminder. And then the day of, you're going to send a reminder. Because right now, when you're opening in the thick of holiday season, so you're competing with tons of retailers that are trying to vie for that attention, overstimuli. So in this case, if we can get the email and just remind them, kind of be that nagging grandmother that keeps telling them, come on, come on, come on, in a fun way. Hey, here's what you can expect. Here's a photo of our center. Hey, here's some fun things we're going to do. Did you join the raffle yet? Or did you enter into our drawing so that you can have a chance to win? We're going to have a grand prize winner, first place, a few second places, whatever. Right. And especially if you're give away gift cards so that they have to come back and spend it.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, we could have a $500 gift card as a grand prize. That would drive people in here like crazy.
There you go.
Private party.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Private party is awesome. I'll tell you, we did that. My wife and I started a nonprofit. She's Cape Verdean. So it's an archipelago of islands off the west coast of Africa. The island that she came from has an active volcano. It erupted in 2014. We created a nonprofit and we ultimately had a red carpet gala at a giant function hall. One thing that function hall was really smart. They said, we want to add something into your raffle, your silent auction. They threw in a party. It was huge. People were signing up. They brought 10 people. Now you got drinks and everything else is perfect. So for those of you watching at home, if there's any way that you can get people to come back into the business, that's what you want to be giving away right now because everyone's looking for a freebie during the holidays. So we've got that. We're going to add in something so that they can do a micro commitment. They can engage with our brand. We've got this information right here, Buzz Social. We've got the map. Cool. And you have the address, which this is actually best practice. So when you're showing any business that has a physical location, you've got the map showing up and you have the address down below that helps Google know that you are that business, which is great. Of course, we don't have the business profile up and verified yet. That's why you just have a map marker, which is fine. What you can do is once you get the business actually on the map and it's showing Buzz Social, that's where I would replace this map and make sure you have your Google business profile with a pin showing up.
That's going to draw them back to look at all of our pictures and maybe write a review. Got it.
There you go. And the other thing that I want to look at, so we've got the website. Now, let's say that someone meets you hand out a card. Okay, they might scan the QR code, but we can't rely on people to actually do what we tell them to do because it's very hard for people to follow directions. So they might go and search for you on Facebook, or they might go, hey, Google, find Buzz Social. Okay, so let's say that they type in Buzz Social and they're even so specific that they're typing in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Well, now your competition is Daily Buzz Espresso Bar. One, because we don't have the business profile established yet. Two, because we have a very basic one-page website that hasn't been living, so it hasn't gotten that kind of credibility in the eyes of Google. So what we want to do here is when people are looking and they're seeing Daily Buzz, that's going to cause confusion. If people are confused, they're going to say, wait, I thought this was a bowling center. What's this? An espresso bar. So we obviously want to fix that. One way that we're going to do it, I'm going to send you a link, is we can run a report and we can create what we call a dating profile. So the dating profile has your name, address, phone number. It has the website. It can have a YouTube video. You upload photos. Not only does it sync with your business profile on Google, it also blasts out to everywhere online. So it blasts out to over 50 different directory sites and local listing sites, so that if someone's looking up Buzz Social in Green Bay, now you're going to show up. So it's based, and the other thing that it's going to do is it's going to hide all of this gutter stuff. All of these are local listings like Yelp, TripAdvisor, so on and so forth. We want to overtake those. So we're going to suppress all those duplicates, hide them, and say, hey, instead of the gutter, it's Buzz Social. That's the law of the land. No one's going to change it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I covered that. We can dive into, actually managing your business profile. Before I do you have any questions on what we talked about?
I'm sure I have a million, but right
No
now
problem.
my head's spinning because
Good. That's
I know
my
you
job.
and I have talked a lot about this in the past with different customers, but when you're in the midst of it yourself, there's so much to remember. So
it's a lot. So you know what, Jay, you bring up a really good point. There's a heck of a lot that I just threw at you. So I'm going to send you this recording, but I'm going to list out the things that you're going to need to do in priority.
Perfect. That would be amazing.
Okay. Number one, what I need you to do is jump in, make sure you have ownership of the gutter. Make sure, since all three of you are owners, you're all owners of the business profile of the gutter. Then you're going to change the name. You're going to update it to Buzz Social. You're going to delete the other profile you created. You don't need it anymore.
Okay, perfect.
When you go in to the business profile, you'll be able to add in photos. One of the photos, have someone on your team, or if you have someone that knows Canva, go in and say the gutter is now Buzz Social. That should be a photo right there. If you can make a video, Jay, make the video, say, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's now Buzz Social. Good. Pop that up too. You can add a video up to 30 seconds. That's really good because since you're changing hands, people are going to want to know the new owner. More videos that you show, the more interaction points, the more they get to know, like, and trust you. So that's the other thing. Also, make sure you add a description. There's no description here, otherwise it would show up. So we want to put in a description and say, the gutter is now Buzz Social. This is what we're offering. You have up to 750 characters. Just tell them what they can expect. You can probably just copy that right from here. So just copy that same bio to make it easy and seamless. So that's going to be the business profile. Next, you're going to go and make sure that you get this domain, and you just talk to them, because they might have it. All they have to do is redirect it, and then the gutter GB will go away. They won't renew the lease on the domain. So if you can just have them do a 301 redirect, a permanent redirect to the new site, which is buzzsocialgreenbay.com, done. Don't have to worry about brand confusion. So that's the next one. The next thing, I'm going to send you the link. We're going to create the dating profile so that we can hide all the gutter stuff, make sure it's all Buzz Social. That's going to be number 3. Feel good?
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, and the fourth one, I almost forgot.
I'm
going to send, but I'm going to send you the online drawing. So I'm going to send you the tool, whether you use Contact, and what we'll do is I'll create the form for you if you use Constant Contact, because we can jump in and do that. Or if you want to use like a drawing, I'll send you that tool. It's really easy to set up. You just say, hey, join our mailing list, 5 points. Follow us on Facebook, 3 points. So you can assign values.
Yes, we want to do that because it's exactly what you were talking about when I was like, how do we do that?
That's a really good way to, what I find is you're building community. One thing that just came out from Think with Google, which is kind of like the content center for Google, is that people lost that feeling of community. You guys are an epicenter of the community. You're bringing in people from all walks of life, from different classes, different geographies, people that love bowling, right? They can all kind of unite through that. Well, if we're building a community, one thing we have to do is keep morale up. To keep morale up, we want to do giveaways or fun events, things like that. You can use those giveaways to get more people in, get more photos and videos, more user-generated content, like them taking photos and videos, submitting it to you. A lot of good stuff to power your marketing so that you can open that second, third, fourth center. Okay. Now that I've overwhelmed you, the next thing I'm going to show you, just going to go over a couple things that you could do. and specifically with your business profile on Google. So I'll just jump in. I'm going to show you an example. Let's see if I have one that might be similar to yours. A lot of pieces. This is just one list of them. Let me just jump into one that this is actually a business that's going to be launching in a couple of weeks too. First thing is this. Once you're verified, everything you do within your business profile on Google shows up right away. So before you're verified, you might try to make posts or upload photos. Google's going to kind of strain those things because you haven't verified that you're at that address. The benefit to taking over the gutter profile and making it yours is that you probably won't have to re-verify because you're at the same address, just a different name. If anything, they'll make you take a picture of the sign to show that is a new sign, so there's no confusion for the consumer. In Google My Business, which is this dashboard, which they're rebranding to the business profile on Google, a few things that you're going to want to pay attention to. First off, posts. Post is like a social post, except it lives on Google. Your posts, if I go back, let's see, I'll just show this one. These are posts. So the Daily Buzz espresso bar last posted in 2018. Wow. Notice how you can, yeah, that's good. So hopefully the people from the Daily Buzz don't watch this, because if you're posting, you're more active, you're going to show up. That's good. Yeah. So you can create offers where people could click on view offer, they show a code, and then that way you can have it entered into your POS and track the efficacy of this. So we can create a video or photo, headline, what the offer is. You can make it last for a certain amount of time and even put a coupon code. So they only did 2 offers and they gave up. That's fine. For you, when you create posts, offers like we just saw, you might have a product that you want to showcase. You might just have a what's new, or you can highlight an event. For
this
you,
is amazing. You
would create the event, right? So notice how you can add up to 10 photos or videos and invite video. Hey, we're the team, introduce yourselves. We're the team at Buzz Social. We want to welcome you and invite you to come to our grand opening. Here's the date, here's the time, here's the address. Make sure you're coming. So they can do that. You can do the event title, the date. You can even add a time. You can have more options. If you created like an Eventbrite, which is free, you could create a free Eventbrite event, and then you could link to that so that people could register, and then that way they add it to their calendar. Adds in that extra layer of accountability so that they actually show up.
To get in.
So Eventbrite. On every post, here's what I need you to do. Whether it's the event itself, whether it's just a product post or a what's up, kind of an update, always add a button. So you could, in this case, book or sign up would make sense. And then you can link. Always have at least 1 photo or video, if not more. Your videos can be up to 30 seconds, and always have at least 2 to 3 sentences, right? We want to make sure that we're giving Google something to go off of. So we're feeding some content so that Google has a better idea. And we're also, the thing is, Google is rewarding us for putting more effort into our profile. Thus, they're going to show us more. So those are posts. Now, here's the thing with posts, they last for 7 days. So if I did like an offer or a product post or a what's new post, at day 6, I get an email from Google My Business saying, your post is about to be hidden or archived, time to put up a new one. Keeps you honest. That's good. The name of the game here is, think of it like if you guys have a game room or an arcade, right? You're watching people just pop in those quarters. Well, the same thing. We've got to keep popping in quarters when it comes to creating posts. The more posts, the more points we're going to get. We're going to get that all-time high score. We're going to show up more with Google. Okay. So you want to be posting at least once a week. For right now, where you have the event coming up, you could create an event post. And let me just clarify, if you do an offer, you can choose a start date and an end date. That could be longer than 7 days. So this could last a whole month, but your content gets stale. So since you're doing the grand opening, my suggestion, do that and have it be, okay, it starts this day, it starts on November 5th, 14th, 16th, whatever it was. And then the end date, the same day, have the times. let that sit there until the grand opening happens. That way, at least it's the constant call to action to join the event or register on Eventbrite. Okay. So you've got that. The other things I'll show you, info. This is where you're going to jump in on the gutter profile. You're going to just click on this pencil, change the name. You're also going to make sure, so to Marcus's point, in this case, High Chocolates is a chocolate shop, but you can have up to 10 categories. So,
well, okay, can I ask you about that, Brian? Because
please.
when I was doing the new one, I could only have 3 categories, and none of them were bowling or entertainment. So we were forced to restaurant.
You were forced to restaurant, huh?
Oh, never mind. Sorry. I'm thinking of Facebook.
No.
I'm
Oh,
so
okay.
sorry.
Facebook. Yes. No. Facebook, the F word. Facebook. Yes. You can have you get up to 3 categories. Here you have up to 10.
And they don't have bowling.
And on Facebook?
No.
No. Well, it just shows how in tune they are. They need to have bowling alley, even though it should be, of course, bowling center. And then if you had event venue,
arcade, restaurant,
arcade, video arcade, there you go. So you can add those. Having 10 doesn't mean that you just have this giant net and you're going to grab everybody in. Try to do up to 5 at most. 10, it's not going to help. So stay true to the main ones, and whatever your primary category is, that's what you're going to show up the most for.
Bowling, yeah. Obviously.
Yep.
Does it matter what order we put those in?
Just the primary one. The other ones, no, not really. They're all considered secondary categories. There's no prioritization as far as I know. Make sure your hours are up to date. Also, when you're in there and you're in this mode, you can add in extra hours. If you have certain things, happy hours, things like that, you can denote those, which is important. Like, let's say you do have happy hour. Now, if people are looking for happy hour near me, you show up because you denoted that to Google. When we click on add hours, of course, you're just going to pop those in. Phone number, which you just got, your website. This, because it's a confectionery business, they're showing menu and things like that. When you create the business profile for the restaurant, that's where you'll be able to add the menu link. Okay. Now you also have attributes. So from the business, sometimes it will show as women owned, Black owned, veteran owned, LGBTQ plus friendly.
Yes.
And then, yep, of course. And then you also want to see like if any of these attributes match what you guys offer. So are you wearing masks? Any of those things? What type of payments do you accept? Those are all things where someone might be searching for fun things to do near me that accept American Express. Funny enough, someone probably searches for that. If you choose the American Express attribute here, now you show up. If you have, wheelchair friendly entrance and handicap accessible bathroom, that's something people will be looking for too. So you'll click on attributes there. Then here's your description that I was talking about. So you have up to 750 characters. You want to make sure you put in that you're rebranded from the gutter. And that's the info tab. The last one that I'll show you, I'm going to show you 2 more. Sorry. I know I'm overwhelming you a bit here.
Keep going.
Deal with it. So reviews. Now, these guys haven't opened yet, so they don't have reviews. Let me go.
Well, we haven't opened yet either, and we have a 1-star.
Fabulous. That's good. It's all in how you respond to that review. So don't incite, don't give them any fuel for the fire. If it's something, I would just say we're not even open yet. So, but the thing is, that's on your new profile, right, Jay? On Buzz Social?
No, I'm sorry. That's on the Facebook page.
Will you stop it, please? Okay.
I know. I'm confusing it together. I apologize. You're going to edit that out.
No, I'm not. Just for that. So I'll look at reviews. The important thing about reviews is this: constantly collecting new reviews, because I want you to think about reviews as an IV, right? So we're giving life to our business. Reviews are going to give social proof that we're a fun place. You need a lot of social proof. That's what you thrive on. So reviews are one way to do it. A parent with 2 kids who's visiting family in Green Bay or friends or whatever, looking for an event, they're going to look at the reviews first and qualify or disqualify you if they want to go there, right? So it's not just a matter of collecting the reviews. It's also a matter of replying to the reviews. So these I just got yesterday, I haven't replied to, but every other one you'll see. In this case, a lot of these reviews are either our services or classes I offer, but I go in and respond, or the team responds to every single one. Why? Because again, you're showing Google you care, you're owning your reputation, and you're active in your business profile. More points, higher score. 2, people are looking. So that 1 star that you got, if you respond in a way that's prompt, professional, positive, and you don't give in to whatever they're saying, even though you're not open, then you're showing people that you're putting your best face forward, you care about the customer experience, and naysayers be damned, they can go away. Right? So my recommendation for you is, once you open, one thing that you might want to do is ask people that are really having fun, hey, can you pull out your phone and leave us a review? If you have friends and family that are coming in, experiencing for the first time the brand new experience that you're creating, have them leave a review. So what you want to do is try to get to 10, 15 reviews right off the bat, or get 10 or 15 new ones. Every month, since you have a very transactional business where they're only spending a little bit amount of time, you're counting on volume. You want to consistently be getting 10, 20 reviews every month, showing that you constantly are providing that experience. The last one that I'll show you, which I think is very important for you guys, are the photos. So photos can be photos of you in action. They could be the Green Bay photos, like the Packers that we just saw when they were bowling, that you're using because they were in the venue. You can be showing photos of the different rooms, show them from different points of view. Hey, take a photo of each of the games in your arcade. Take a photo of the dishes that you're serving in the restaurant. Take a photo of the staff. Take videos. You can upload 30-second videos. So just do a real once over of the arcade, of the pro shop, of any of those things. Take fun artistic. Marcus, you're artistic, so why don't you take some of those fun videos where it's like the perspective of the ball rolling down the alley and things like, or the lane, things like that. So we're trying to just show them all the different facets of this venue and why it's a fun, immersive experience. The more photos you're putting up, the more informational touch points you allow them to consider. And when people are making plans, or if they're buying something, Google found that the average online shopping journey is 140 informational touch points. The more photos you have, the more that they can click through and see, oh, okay, wow. Oh, wow. Look, he speaks. Wow, he can talk. Wonderful. Well, the more that they do that, the more that they're going to establish a rapport with you and want to go there and experience it for themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. So my friends, that's what I've got for you. Quite a bit.
Wow.
I'm going to send you the link to this recording so you can watch it on your own. What if any questions do you have for me?
I mean, I don't have any questions specifically. I'm just saying, like, this is something that one person or a couple people really need to manage, especially early on in the process. So we have to dedicate time to do this. Just as important as painting the sidewalls and getting our kitchen ready to open, it's equally important in my mind. So the 3 of us are going to have to figure that out, how to divide that up, or maybe we can bring another person to help manage this too. In the long run, yes, we would hand this off to a staff member at some point in time and teach them as well. So
Yep.
I think that's got to be our strategy.
Yeah, whoever's going to be in charge of your social media, because you need feet on the street. You need someone that's there taking photos and videos and posting them up to Instagram, Facebook, and all that. That same content can be posted up here, and it should just be part of their checklist to be going on here, responding to reviews, adding up photos and videos, all that kind of stuff, creating posts.
Beautiful. Does Hootsuite interface with Google My Business or no?
Hootsuite does not. There are
Okay.
some tools that do that allow you to schedule. They kind of work. Google's API is a little finicky, so some of them work. There is a tool called Yext, which you've probably heard of through BPAA and all that. And they do, I believe they have the integration with Google My Business.
Okay. Wow, Bryan, thanks for blowing up our minds. I mean, yes.
My pleasure, guys. So everyone watching at home, you too can be a part of a blueprint strategy session. You can apply by going to bryancaplan.com/blueprint. Until next time, I hope you stay well, stay healthy, stay happy, and here's to your success.